Hey, welcome everyone. It's time for the Trick Trades video watch list for December 4th. Let's get into it here. I have 2, 4, 5 plays, nice and narrowed down for you. So let me get to the bigger screen here. SFIX. This would have been a really nice catch because the 9 EMA just came into play here finally, and this does fit my IPO strategy criteria. It looks like it wants to go back on breakout, so let's see if it can get back over this 25 area. That would be the area to watch. However, if it breaks these highs, so basically breaks the 24, I'll be looking to get long and then look to see what it does into that 25. TITN. This is quite overextended. We got a lot of volume in the past couple of days, so if this starts to panic out, we should see a pretty nice pullback. It's also on a pretty nice trend here. Where did I have that from before? It looked, yeah, okay. So it's right on. It's basically closed right on its trend line, give or take. So it is at trend. I am expecting a pullback, especially after a massive rip like this, coming down from there, ripping up over 5 points and about 36%. It needs to relax a little bit before it continues on. So I'm definitely looking for this to pull back. Da, da. NTNX. This is on breakout. We'll see what the market does, though, folks. That's another thing. The market's very shaky, and we had some issues with Israel and Iran over the weekend. That could definitely come into play, and the markets could really pull back tomorrow, depending on the news that comes out overnight and into the morning. So we'll definitely keep an eye on that as well. So on NTNX, I am going to look for a little bit of a dip to get in on. It's hard to say. There's no real level of support here that it might kind of pull back to. Right? You just got to look for like maybe here. So it might pull back just a little bit before ripping back up. Okay, so let's take a look at the intraday to see if it started. It did start gapping down a little bit, so we'll have to see where it actually opens up and whether it can cross that previous close. So let me see where it. No, it's pretty well flat. So we'll see what happens with that. Triple R. This is really extended here. I'm going to look for a retest of highs. It's kind of a slower mover. You can see that these are actually quite small days. They're only about 30-cent days. Even on some of its biggest days, it's only about 60 cents. But I'm not looking to go long. I'm looking for this to really pull back, and when it does, it'll most likely pull all the way back to the 9. So there's about a good point and a half here of play, and I am expecting that big red day to be coming up. Tomorrow, maybe the next day, we'll see if this makes it to the 32. I don't think it makes it up to the 32. I think this just really pulls back. And Roku, this is my main watch. This looks amazing now, doesn't it? I mean, this is following trend. It's pulled back right to the 9, right to the trend line. The only flipping problem is, you know what's probably going to happen? A million traders are going to see this exact pattern here, and it's going to start playing pre-market, and it's probably going to squeeze up right to the 50, which would have been my target for tomorrow, to be honest. And then it's probably going to sell off a bit and then rip back through. So, as easy as this play looks, and if it were to just open up right where it's at right now, so it would open up basically right on this trend line. right? And then rip. It's probably going to rip pre-market and then dip down a little bit and then rip up. So this is just another example of when pre-market trading can really mess up your nightly scans. So you need to think ahead, okay? You need to think ahead, and you need to figure out what what is the the highest probable outcome of pre-market trading, and that especially with this play. That's what's most likely going to happen. So that's what I'll be watching for. Roku is my definitely my main watch. Sale. This is another one. I really think it's starting to put in a really nice trend here. You can see that trend forming. So basically, I'm going to be looking for a break of this area as well as this 15 area to hold for a move up. And it does have a tendency to put in these big days because this is going to be pretty squeezy, but I am expecting a nice green day on SAIL as well. Now, I've got quite a few longs. I've got a couple of shorts on. We're just going to have to wait and see what the market does. Uh, as well as later on after these plays kind of develop, I will be watching the new VWAP rejection and VWAP bounce scan. These two scans they're amazing. So I'm not really a scan trader, but these two scans have already proven themselves. So really excited for tomorrow. I think we're going to have some good plays. I'll also be watching all tech stocks, so big tech like Nvidia. So Nvidia, Facebook, Netflix, Apple, okay, Square. I'm going to be watching all the big techs. We had a pretty big pullback yesterday in the market, and then or Friday in the market, and then it kind of bounced back up end of day. Markets are really uncertain, so I will be watching the stocks that really follow the market. And the market starts selling off again tomorrow. I'll be jumping in. I do like Nvidia for pullbacks. You do get pretty quick resolution, and it really hugs the tick for tick the market, so it's very predictable that way. So that's it, folks. I will see you tomorrow in chat.